You're listening to KEMPIRE here on the KEMPIRE Radio Network. Hey, y'all. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I wasn't even sure if I was going to even go live today just because I had a lot going on. And literally lunch just arrived. I ordered lunch at 12, almost like a quarter to 1. And it just arrived. I had a scarf down. So if you see food in my teeth, understand that's why. I had a scarf down. I had to get a little something in because, I've been real cranky during our FRI-YAY live. Welcome back to the KEMPIRE channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Be sure to like the video, share the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're also live on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and on X. We're also, Twitter. I already said that. Wow. All right. Shout out to everyone that's here. Be sure to let me know where you are watching from. And again, do not forget to like the video because it matters. We have a few stories that I want to go through. I won't be here long because I have more stuff to do. I have more errands to run. I got things to get done. It's beautiful outside, but Monday is supposed to be like 40-something degrees. Tomorrow's supposed to be like 60 is the high. I don't know about y'all. I've been enjoying the warm weather, but I also feel like it's a little too warm too soon. It's only April. We should not be getting 80-degree weather. But I was like, you know what? Pum pum shorts go on. Okay. So I was like, let me give y'all a little preview of what the summer's about to be like. Right? Okay. Before we even begin, let me know what your good news is. I always love to hear what the good news is. If you have some good news, if you're part of Replay Crew, I want to hear what your good news is as well. My good news, last night I was outside. It was beautiful weather. I attended a Banana Republic private event. It was a collaboration that they have with the Explorers Club. It was really cool. Did a little shopping, listened to a little bit about people that are interested in animals and how animals and the medicines that they use can be used for humans. So it was I got to see the archival Banana Republic stuff. It was really cool. I was glad to be outside. Oh, guess no. Okay, let me talk. Joshua Jackson was there. And he looks as good as he looks in the magazines and on television. I turned around, I was like, wait. And I forgot that he does have a collaboration with Banana Republic. So Joshua Jackson was there. And Kim Kardashian's, I think it's her hairstylist that married the actor from The White Lotus. The actor from The White Lotus was also there. What was his name? I meant to look up his name, but I remember he sat right in front of me. He was all hugged up with someone else. I don't know if that was his man or just his friend, because you know how some of these gay guys do. Don't have me outside at an event with celebrities, okay? I'm like this. When I'm supposed to be paying attention to other things, I'm paying attention. First of all, girls, y'all should have came with me because y'all know that Joshua Jackson loves some brown sugar. I'm just saying, he wasn't there with anyone that I noticed. And if he was, she wasn't a brown sugar. Maybe he said after the last brown sugar, he's not going to do brown sugar no more. But you know what they say, once you go black, you never go back. Especially after Jody's yummy. Look, I'm just saying, I'm glad I know the tea. So I didn't say to him like, damn, you got left by Jody? Times must be hard. He seemed lovely, though. He seemed lovely. I didn't speak to him, but I watched from afar. I was like, oh, Joshua Jackson actually looks good in person. Okay. The other guy from The White Lotus, he was in season 2 of The White Lotus. Yeah, season 2 of The White Lotus, where he was getting banged out by the hotel manager. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to give you the tea for what happened last night. But it was a lovely event. I had a good time. I got a jacket. What else did I get? I got a jacket and I got a book bag from the archival collection. I didn't know we could do some shopping at the private event, but here we are. All right. Shout out to everyone that's in the chat. I see you. I see you all. Good news today. It's Friday, vacation day and sunny. Love that. Miss E says, my good news is that I have enough gas to make it home. But I'm glad. Millie says he loves a good swirl. I was saying. Thank you, Gia. She said, you have a good voice. Thank you. And that was without practice. I haven't sang in a hot second. Yes, Ola says period camp in the rooms. Okay. Sydney says not KEMPIRE. Being out here in these streets, I love it. And I had to really force myself. There was a buildup. There was a buildup until last night. I was like, am I going to go? Am I going to go? Am I going to go? My essay called me. It was like, everything good? You on your way? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah. I was already getting ready, though, at that particular point. But I already said in my head, I was like, I'm going to stay there for a certain amount of time, and then I'm leaving. But I stayed a good amount of time. I stayed, I think, until, was it like 9 o'clock? I stayed till? Okay. All right. Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hold on. Glendora says, hey, big smiles from DC by way of Detroit. Kempire, you are a hot mess, and that's good. Love your show, and I'm 70 years on this earth. That's amazing. And thank you for watching us on Twitch. Not you, 73, watching us on Twitch. I'm impressed. I am impressed. Apparently, we look even better and sound even better on Twitch. Be sure to follow me on Twitch, guys. Twitch.tv/TheKempire. Everything's The Kempire on X, TikTok, all the places. Be sure to follow me there as well. All right, let's get to the news because, like I said, I can't be here too long today. I know you're good. You like a good 2.5 hour live. It won't be that today because, as I said to you, I got things to do. The weather is good. I want to be outside. I want to enjoy my life. Look, I want to enjoy my life. Okay. All right. So I'm happy to hear your good news. All right. Okay, hold on. Bella says, keep sharing the good news, y'all. Derek's watching from Atlanta. What's going on, Derek? Bella says, my good news is that I got a 92% on finals. That's my daughter in the pick, not me. Oh, congratulations, 92%. That's amazing. You know what my Jamaican mother would say? You couldn't get 100? I'm kidding. I think that's amazing. But I'm just telling you what she would have said. Okay? Hey, Miss Parker. Miss Parker says, Kempire got his foot on our necks with the suit and the new profile pic. Beard gang. Yes, guys, be sure to check out my new Instagram photo that I posted. I have a lot more photos I have not shared with you guys. I like to roll things out little by little, so stay tuned. Stay tuned. I might roll out a little bit more, okay? I know, I got to go outside, Gia. I'm outside. I don't know how long I'm outside, but I'm outside for a little bit during the daylight hours. All right, let me see. I'm loving all the good news. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch. Eve says, Kemp, my good news is that at 58, I made a career change. I love this. And I'm in my 6th week in a dope ad agency in New York and loving it. Eve, congratulations. That's amazing. And you know what? Someone hearing your story today is going to be inspired by that. So I love that. Oh, wait, we got another Winter in the building. Hey, Winter. Lovely photo. Winter says, my good news is I have a job interview lined up next week. Fingers crossed, y'all. And we're all co-creating that for you. If this is your dream job, you let us know. We can co-create it for you. Oh, I'm loving all the good news, y'all. All right. D. Nicole says, my good news is I got into grad school starting classes in the fall. Congratulations, D. Nicole. What's going to be your major? I love it. Okay. I love this. All this good news. I'm not going to even do a flunky of the week. Let's just focus on the positive. Until we get to the negative stories, unfortunately, we got to talk about some of these stories. Let me just get to the top story. David, the singer. Some of us didn't even know who David was until this murder investigation. And we discovered more things about David than we even wanted to know. They finally arrested him, despite all the internet investigators basically pinning it on him. And giving us more stuff about this man and his weird behavior that's been out here on these internet streets, out for display, but no one did anything. My concern is the fact that they took so long to make this arrest. Did they hinder this investigation? I don't know. But they finally arrested him yesterday. That was the breaking news that David, the singer, was arrested. TMZ reports this. They said a critical piece of evidence in the David murder case is what caused Celeste Riva's death, and a high-ranking LAPD source tells TMZ. They said the LA County medical examiner has ruled her death a homicide. The medical examiner had trouble determining the manner of death because of the decomposition of her body when it was found last September. And there's a combination of things going on here, and it's not just the police department to blame. Even before that, the people that did not protect Celeste. She was only, I think she turned 15 when they found her body. I think she had just turned 15, but she had ran away from home multiple times. So the medical examiner had trouble determining the manner of death because of the decomposition of her body when it was found last September. A source connected to the medical examiner had told TMZ. At the time, we're told that they may have never known whether Celeste's death was a homicide or accidental, but according to our LAPD source, the medical examiner office believes they figured it out. So that's probably what took them so long. The medical examiner was trying to figure this out based off of what they had left of her. David was arrested Thursday in Los Angeles over 7 months after Celeste's decomposing corpse was found in the trunk of his Tesla, which was sitting in a Hollywood impound lot after being abandoned in the Hollywood Hills while David was out on tour. Out on tour, and there's a dead body in your Tesla. And it was his Tesla. He was booked into the LAPD 77th Street Station Jail, and he's being held without bail. Can you imagine that this person, if he did it, this man has been on the loose for 7 months. So he was booked yesterday. Members of the LAPD's elite robbery homicide unit showed up at the Hollywood home David was laying low at Thursday afternoon and escorted him outside to a police car. And we got the video showing him in handcuffs. Oh, I ain't gonna show you guys that. David's attorney, Blair Burke, Marilyn Bernarski, and Regina Peter previously told TMZ the actual evidence in this case will show that David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and he was not the cause of death. We reached out to the medical examiner's office for comment on the manner of death, but the file has been officially sealed, so they did not reply. Ugh. So that's the update. Yesterday, David was arrested for the murder of Celeste, which we've been talking about since for over 6 months now, 7 months. Wow. Hopefully Celeste will find justice in this, because this has been a crazy story. I was shocked, like anyone else, that they finally made an arrest. I forgot my water. I'm going to have to grab it in a second. I filled it up and I forgot it. It's okay. All right. Moving on from there. Rest in peace, Celeste. That is unfortunate. All right. The other story that I wanted to talk about has to do with... Let's talk about... Okay, I know some of you are here just for one story in particular, so I'll jump with the good story. Well, not a good story. Let's talk about Drew Sidora. We've been talking about Drew Sidora all week. Another story came out about Drew Sidora, and I bet you money that none of this will be playing out during the season when it comes to Drew. We will be focused on Drew trying to act and fighting with K. Michelle. They'll be talking about Drew probably dating Black. We're not going to hear anything about her divorce with Ralph, because that's her real story, and Drew refuses to give us her real story. So according to court docs obtained by TMZ, Drew raised the issue to the judge in June of 2025, months before the Bravo star was ordered to vacate her marital home. Rewinding time. Drew asked the judge to put her estranged husband, Ralph Pittman, behind bars for leaking private texts. This is just being revealed now. But you may recall, we were talking about Drew being ordered by the court that she needs to vacate the marital home by May 31st. And she lost primary custody of her children with Ralph. Her eldest son will be with her. But she was begging a judge to have her be able to stay in the house because there's no way she'll be able to find a home in that amount of time. We also discovered that Drew apparently only makes $12,000 a month, and Ralph makes about $71,000 plus a month. However, I told you that's probably not what Drew is making a month, because a lot of you are saying there's no way Drew makes $12,000 a month and she's on this show and she's acting, she's doing all this stuff. I'm telling you right now, Drew probably has some of her Bravo check going to an LLC, one of probably multiple LLCs, and that's why we don't know how much Drew actually is taking in a month. Okay, so that might be the reason. I don't believe that Drew is making only $12,000 a month. Okay. But that is what she's telling a court. Okay. Again, I think Drew needs better representation, because I just don't understand how Drew has to vacate this home. She's losing primary custody. This man makes more money than her, technically. And you're the one having to leave. You're not getting spousal support. You're not getting child support. It's not making sense to me. And I feel like there's so much more to this story than Drew is revealing. And my thing is, I know some people will say certain things she can't probably reveal in this reality show, but she can talk about some of this stuff. This is not sealed. This is why we know all of this stuff. All right, moving on. So they said in the filing, Drew, who told the court that she's been famous since the age of 8, said she's been famous. I mean, she has, but it's so interesting to see it in court documents. She told the court that she's been famous since the age of 8, said her career had been on the rise with a new song and several big projects. She said this in court. She claimed that on June 10th of 2025, Ralph gave private text messages he stole from her cell phone to a media outlet before the divorce was filed. She said that they were posted with false narratives purposely meant to place her in a negative light. Is she talking about the text messages between her and Tai Young? Is that what she's revealing? Because remember, we all speculated, how did Sheree get these text messages? How did it show up at her house? Blah, blah, blah. I wanted those are the text messages that she's referring to. And look, please understand, I know we're hard on Drew. It doesn't mean that we are soft on Ralph. We know Ralph is trash. And very much as much trash as we think that Lenny Hochstein is trash. Okay? King of Kings says Drew needs to go to get Candy's lawyer. Somebody better than what's happening now, because I feel time after time when it comes to this divorce, she's looked like a fool. And I think it's because of her legal representation. We saw it play out last season. Okay? Phaedra is not her lawyer. Who keeps saying that? Yeah, producer says Phaedra is not her lawyer. I don't know. I think people are getting Drew confused with Kelly. Kelly has Phaedra as a lawyer. And apparently Kelly's been doing better in regards to her divorce and her situation, for the most part, with Phaedra. She had her husband arrested. Just saying. So they continue. This says, Drew said that Ralph also posted text messages on social media. She said that he was trying to embarrass and disparage her. The paperwork alleged that while it's clear and apparent that Ralph has disdain for his estranged wife, such disdain does not give Ralph the right to publicly humiliate Drew. Mind you, she made this request to have him arrested back in June. It never happened. So whoever Ralph has hired as an attorney is working. Drew demanded that Ralph be fined $1,000 for every violation of the mutual restraining order in place when the divorce was filed, and asked for him to be thrown in jail for up to 20 days. Okay. As TMZ first reported, Drew was ordered to vacate the marital home by the end of next month. The RHOA star asked the judge to reconsider the decision, claiming that she would be homeless if forced to leave. The judge has yet to rule. Drew and Ralph split in March of 2023. So it's been 3 years since they filed for divorce. But they have yet to finalize their divorce. Yeah, SW says Ralph plays it better, I guess. He just probably has a better lawyer. Doesn't make Ralph better in this situation in regards to a better parent, a better person. He just has a better lawyer, it seems. Gogo Zim says Drew has a strange relationship with the truth, y'all. Yeah. Vernaya says, if I was making $12,000 a month, what? You didn't finish that sentence. Oh, damn. Diane says she got her lawyer from Temu. I always tell you this, that not all lawyers are made the same. Not all lawyers are made the same. Just because you got your JD doctorate doesn't mean that you're a great lawyer. And this comes from someone that has worked with thousands, and I'm not even exaggerating that number. I've met thousands of attorneys over the years. And for the most part, great, but there are some that are not great, okay? And we used to keep a list about the not so great ones, okay? Just saying. All right. Amara says this is why college is important. Guys, keep liking the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just our channel, but other channels as well. This is our FRI-YAY Live, where we cover a variety of hot topics, reality television, and so much more. I will add the timestamps at some particular point. It probably won't be till this evening, because after this, I'm running to an appointment, and then who knows? Okay, I'll be outside, and the weather's feeling good. I might be twerking it on somebody's street corner. If you see me, mind your business. Okay. All right, Drew, I wish you the best, though, because Drew is a lovely person. I do wish you the best. This is crazy. This is crazy. All right. Let me get to Ciara Miller. Ciara Miller. Let me bring up the article. Ciara Miller is on the cover of Glamour US. Not look, Glamour US, not Glamour Bulgaria. Okay. Shout out to Dr. Wendy Asefo. Okay. But she's on the cover, and she looks beautiful. Look at her here. Like the way she looks at the camera, stunning. And look at her cloud bob. Lies you tell, Kempire. There ain't no cloud. All right, before we get to the Ciara Miller, Vogue magazine is feeling the backlash because they posted a picture of Tracy Ellis Ross, and they're now calling her afro They're trying to change it and gentrify, I guess, the fro, and they're calling it a cloud bob. Lies you tell. A cloud bob? No, we're not going to even do that. It's an afro, okay? So Ciara is on the cover of Glamour, and she's finally breaking her silence on everything that's been playing out. I'm just going to talk about some of the things that came out in this. So you can see at the cover, it says Ciara Miller versus The Mess. And if you remember my exclusive, I think it was last week, I posted and I talked about this. I told you I don't really cover Summer House, but I was getting the information since all this blew up. So I was getting more information. I said, there's a few things that Ciara is being offered right now, and I'm happy for her. It was on the red carpet. Garcelle was like, I hope Ciara gets the same treatment as Ariana Madix got. And I want her to get even better, okay? Even more. Honestly, I could see her as the host of Love Island, but anyway, that's me, okay? That's me, especially because, you know, she's singling and mingling, okay? Anyways, so Ciara versus The Mess. Shout out to our friends over at CC Loves You on Instagram. I'm going to take some of the highlights from this article that I wanted to read to you guys. So the interviewer says that Friends knows, speaking of the reunion, it tapes soon. Is it not taping today? Is it not? Did they push it back? What happened? They filmed the Southern Hospitality reunion yesterday. So I was thinking that we would get Summer House, but maybe there are things that they're trying to discuss and plan, especially with everything that's played out, that's put a little kibosh in their plans for this reunion. Okay, so the reunion, this is what Ciara says, the reunion are always mental warfare. Filming a reality show and then sitting at a reunion 8 months later is not normal. It's not real life. It's having to remember everything you said or give a reason for why you said everything you said. I'm a bit nervous. The interviewer says, this is something I've always wondered about Bravo reunions. When do you find out your seat assignment? She says, the morning of. See, this is where I feel like sometimes the interviewers that have no idea what they're talking about, no offense to the interviewer, but if one of us was conducting an interview, this would not be a question because we all know they find out as soon as they walk out where they're sitting. But fine. What a waste of a question. But anyway, she says the morning of, when you get to the studio, and even when you're getting ready, you still don't know. Not until a couple of minutes before, you're going to walk out on stage, and then they tell you. So they say to her, who do you want to sit next to this year? She says, that's a tough question. You get to sit next to your friends. In the past, I've sat next to Paige. There's also something about the chapter of sitting by yourself and being able to hold your ground. Not that I'm okay sitting by myself, but I feel like I'm more comfortable sitting by myself if I have to be. I would love to sit next to Mia or Lindsay or Carl or KJ. But at the same time, I'm not really thinking too much about the seating arrangement because I know that this is a moment for me to stand my own ground wherever I'm sitting. I know that's right. Come on. What do you guys think? I believe Amanda will sit next to Andy, and I believe Ciara will sit next to Andy at this reunion. That's what I believe. And I hope they put Wes off to the end, just to hurt his ego. Look. I'm just grossed out. They asked, do you know what you're going to wear? She says, no, it's stressful. I've had one fitting so far. There's a theme for the reunion. It's a summer show, blah, blah, blah. I'm probably going to just push that to the side and wear whatever I want. I think what I pick out is going to be a statement of where I stand. I feel like it's going to represent who I am and how I'm feeling on that particular day. I know that's right. People talk about revenge. People talk about a revenge dress. Even at the reunion 2 years ago, I really wasn't preparing anything to be a revenge dress. I was genuinely just, what do I want to wear? And I was working with my stylist at the time, and we came up with something together. Now, going into this reunion, I have a different mindset, but I still don't really think about a revenge look. I just think about what's a proper representation of who I am right now. Here's the thing. Ciara walking out there being Ciara and being beautiful as she already is revenge enough. That's revenge. She does. Have we seen Wes? Okay. Have we seen Amanda's regular degular? Okay. You come out here with your cloud bob. I'm playing. I'm leaning into it. But no, I'm playing. You come out here with your hair like this. Every time we've seen Ciara, even when she was sitting on the floor outside Hermes, and I said, ew, Ciara, get off the floor. She was still looking better than what Amanda looked like when she was bar hopping the other day before she released a statement. Guys, if you see, I'm just moving on with my life. Guys, so if you see me out living my life, just understand it doesn't represent how I feel right now. Guys, whatever. Chris says, Wes smells. He looks like he smells. Rachel says, Amanda is so extra regular, right? So the interviewer says, what was your last conversation with Amanda like? She says, minimal is all I'll say, because that's something I will talk about at the reunion. Understood. Do you get a heads up that Wes and Amanda plan to post that statement on Instagram confirming their relationship? She says less than 24 hours. One notification was about 45 minutes before. What was your last conversation with Amanda like? Oh, wait, she said that already. Understood. Well, okay. All right. Did you get to read it ahead of time? What did you think? She says, I read it with the rest of the world. There's something about the lack of being able to say each other's name in the statement that I found very telling, but I don't know. I agree. The interviewer says, for those that are just joining us, we're talking about the interview that Glamour did with Ciara Miller from Summer House. We're just talking about some of the highlights from it. The interviewer asks, I did appreciate that your first posts following the statement were about Trans Day of Visibility and the Girl Scouts. To me, that said everything. She says, I know I had a couple more 100,000 eyes on my stories and on my profile, and I wasn't quite ready to say anything. I posted what I felt needed to be acknowledged. So she was intentional about bringing attention to trans visibility and Girl Scouts because she knew everybody was watching whatever she posts. Any more reason to love Ciara? This is very Capricorn coded, though. Just saying. So she said, I posted what I needed to be acknowledged, and that was trans visibility, protecting the dolls, and then the Girl Scouts. I was a Girl Scout from kindergarten to a senior in high school. I earned my bronze and silver awards. My first community was my Girl Scout troop. A lot of TV is just so gluttonous. I think you have to give back in some way. I just wanted to shed light on something that needs a little bit of light. Something that I want to really dig into, watching this show, so many white people are comfortable. Oh, wait, I think this is Cece's commentary. I'm not sure. Oh, wait, no, this is the interviewer's commentary. Okay. So something that I wanted to really dig into, watching this show, so many white people are comfortable talking about race. There's a scene this season where you and KJ connect at the table over the double consciousness of being black and on camera. You talk about how your relationships are different, you're perceived differently, everything. I got emotional watching it. Do you think your housemates appreciated that conversation? She says it's funny what's shocking and surprising to them and what's not shocking and surprising to us. I think there's a lack of awareness of how people of color and black people have to move in this world, and it's not effing fair. Growing up, my dad always said, the older you are, the blacker you get. You don't notice it when you're a kid, but the older you get, you start to notice the nuances of your relationships with people, how people treat you, how they value you, how they see you or don't see you in a scenario. People can say it has nothing to do with race, but I think at the crux of it, it has everything to do with race. Why is it that I'm so much more disposable than another person? That's a very interesting concept to think about when you think about the Amanda and the West of it all. The interviewer says, and even not having to think about all of that is its own privilege, the interviewer said. She says to never even have to consider how you move through the world is something I can't even fathom. I don't know what that's like. I couldn't imagine what that's not having certain conversations. Okay. I wanted to see if there was some more in this article that I want you guys, if you're just joining us, I'm talking about Ciara Miller's interview in Glamour. She says in part of the interview, I came into the house having boundaries. Don't call me after 9. People just thought that it was the most ridiculous thing ever. But I grew up in a household where we weren't allowed to talk on the phone after 9. People love to say that they're scared of me or that I'm scary. What have I done that's been scary? Because a lot of the time I say nothing. I remove myself from a situation. Even, that's so race coded. Ciara's scary. Even if I do yell, like Carl's yelling, everyone else is also yelling. So why am I so much scarier than any of the guys yelling? How is it that I'm already getting labeled as scary and intimidating? The I word, my entire dating life is men calling me intimidating. I prefer discerning. How have you navigated that in your own life? I think she says. Yeah, dating in your dating life. Ciara responds that it's hard. Dating interracially is a whole other layer. The nuances of interracial dating and how much of a mind F it can be. Not only do you have to figure out who this person effing voted for, you have to figure out, okay, you're attracted to me, you like me, but do you like the people that look like me? That's deep because I'm just one person, but would you really advocate for all of us? That's an important thing. That to me is important and vital because I don't want to be an exception to your rule at all. That's a word, Ciara. And that's so true. Dating back just like 5 years ago versus dating today, there's so many questions. Not only who did you vote for, here in New York, who did you vote for in the mayoral election? Because if you told me you voted for Cuomo, or if you told me you voted for Eric Adams, I'm gonna be like, why? I'm gonna need further conversation. So dating now, what's your stance on Israel and Palestine? Those things are important to me because if I'm sitting at home and all of a sudden we're watching the news and we're seeing what's happening in Palestine and you say something crazy, I'm like, we're done. We're done. But okay. All right. So that's just a little bit from Ciara Miller's interview in Glamour. Go pick it up today. She looks stunning. The dress, the white dress, the poofy fro hair. And again, I believe that was intentional. I believe because she's a Capricorn. I think this was intentional. She wanted to have a big big fro hair on a cover of this magazine. I love to see it. Glamour. Ciara, congratulations. Today's brought to you by, while I go grab my water, it's brought to you by friends over at RHOBH. I know you're probably tired of hearing people say, new year, new me. However, it can be a new year and a new you. Everyone is trying to get back into the gym. They're trying to do some weight loss things. You may have also heard of GLP-1s. Our friends over at RHOBH has gotten you covered with the new GLP-1 pill. The pill is a new, more convenient and approachable way to GLP-1s if you've been thinking about it. A self-administered shot can be a bit intimidating. But now there's a pill that delivers comparable results. If you've been thinking about getting on a GLP-1, RHOBH might be the way to do it. They have 100% online care, access to clinically proven, FDA-approved medications, free insurance checks, side effect management, dosing support, and more. RHOBH offers the first FDA-approved GLP-1 pill for weight loss at the lowest cost around. The new GLP-1 pill has the same weight loss ingredient as the shot and packs comparable results to the shot. It can help patients lose 14% of their body weight in a year on average. This is based on a study in non-diabetics with obesity or overweight plus a weight-related condition with diet and exercise. You may have also seen Serena Williams talk about collaborating and endorsing RHOBH as well. As a world-class athlete, she also wanted to drop pounds after having children. If I had needed this particular option, this is what I would use. A pill versus a shot? Why not? Go to ro.co/KEMPIRE to see if you're eligible for the new GLP-1 pill on RHOBH. That's ro.co/KEMPIRE to get started on RHOBH. Go to ro.co/safety for box warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medication. More details on your discount and more will be available in the description. And we're back. Thanks, Ro. More information on all our sponsors and the merch and things like that will be available in the description. Trauma Queen, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate your support. Trauma Queen says, I love Ciara, but the West situationship was 3 months long and was 2 years ago. Ooh. But some are saying it's not even about West, and you'll see she's talked about it too. It's not about West, it's more so about her friendship with Amanda and her being such a support of Amanda during the season of Summer House when it comes to everything that she's going on with Kyle. Speaking of Kyle, I saw Kyle was photographed making out with a new woman. He's a single man though. Not technically. Technically he's not single, but he's separated. And Amanda's moved on. Kyle, I'm outside. It's summertime. And we're about to start filming. He's going to have a good old summer, I bet. Heavy on fashion said Capricorn, she's aiming for the money with a dash of revenge. I love it. Yeah, that's very Capricorn. Miss Brooklyn, I literally, when I went over to go grab my water bottle, I saw, it's not raining over here yet. I guess it's about to, but it's a bunch of clouds. I was like, oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Okay. Hopefully it'll stop by the time I need to go outside. Fun Food Freebie says she's channeling Diana Ross. She definitely is. I love it. Let me just show you the picture again for those that may have missed it. Look how gorgeous she looks here. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. That's Ciara Miller on the cover of Glamour. All right, go check out the interview. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for engaging in the conversation. Keep liking the video. It's easy and it's free. Don't forget, you can also hear our live recaps and special episodes, exclusive episodes here on the KEMPIRE podcast. And while you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. We've been working on a lot of things, okay? All right. Let me move on. Was it Megan that he was making out with? That's who he was making out with? Megan King from RHOC? Is that who he was making? Ew. I mean, not ew, but you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, like they just get around, don't they? Who is she just with? Who is she just dating? I can't remember. I can't keep up. All right, moving on. Let me get to Ladies of London. Okay? Ladies of London. How are you guys feeling about the season? I'm ready for the season to wrap it up. And it's not because it's a bad season. For me, I actually enjoyed this particular episode this week. And if you had to rate this week's episode of Ladies of London, how would you rate it? I would give it a solid 9. I love seeing Emma's home and her safari and the work that she's doing. Now I understand completely why she came on this show. Because remember, I was like, why would an aristocrat come on a reality show? But she wants to bring attention to the work that she's doing. I'm sure that conservatory, I'm not sure what she calls it. It's not a zoo. The conservatory that she has, it's bringing money and attention to her charitable work that she's doing there. It's beautiful, though. The way she hosted them, they all pulled up like that drive up to the estate. I'm like, this is gorgeous. This is what people want to see on Housewives. Why wasn't she on Real Housewives of London? Because keep in mind, Real Housewives of London, though, is not being shown here in the States. Ladies of London, though, is being shown here in the United States. Winter says, yes, Dusty Megan King. Damn. I'm glad you guys told me. I had no idea. I just thought it was some random. But I guess she really is some random. But all right. The Girls Club, I really enjoy Ladies of London. I'm enjoying it too. This fight, though, between Margot and Mark, I'm over it. And apparently Mark is over it too. Margot crying, saying that she feels so alone. I'm like, part of me, like, yes, I definitely get the mean girl vibe from Mark Francis. But at the same time, I'm like, Margot, get over it. What are we talking about? But then again, I say to myself, what would we be talking about if they weren't beefing? We'd be talking about how Emma's such a great host. We'd be talking about Longleat and how can we get to go and visit? We could go and visit. Next time I'm in England, I'm going to have to go because I love a good conservatory. So we get to see all of the pomp and circumstance of what is Longleat. They all take a group trip there. Emma is an amazing host. We get to see more of what she's been doing there. She got married there. And this is what I think people love about this group of this particular cast is that they really are friends. And they have been friends for a while. Kimmy and Mark Francis were actually at Emma's wedding of 400 people. And they've gone there before to party and things like that with Emma before. I will say this. I do believe Emma is a beautiful person, but I'm paying attention to the people that she's close with. She's very close with the messy ones. So that says to me her sense of humor, she's just as messy as they are, but she has to give off because she's an aristocrat. She has a name, she has a title, she has to give off a certain image to the world, but pay attention to the people she's close with. She's close with Mark Francis. She's close with Kimmy. Honestly, though, I would be close with them too because I find them enjoyable on the show. But in real life, I think Mark Francis would be annoying. If I'm hosting you guys and I'm greeting you at the front of the estate, Mark Francis trying to be the center of attention. Oh my God! And then lifting you up. I'm like, that is a bit too much. But I think we've clocked Mark Francis's tea in regards to who he really is as a person. I believe Margot when she says he aligns himself with Emma because of who she is. And that makes him a certain person in this world. Because here's the thing. In these elite circles, both here in the United States and in England, it's not just about how much money you have. It's about who you know, who you're connected with, who you're friendly with, who's let you into the inner circle. You can't just buy your way into the inner circle. A lot of these tech billionaires, because we have had a large amount of tech billionaires now, they're not in some of these inner circles. And if they are now in those inner circles, it's because they've cozied up. They've done the smoothing, the hobnobbing with certain individuals. Exactly. The Girls Club says, Emma likes the mess, and I do too. We like the mess. You wouldn't be here if you didn't like the mess in some shape or form. But I wonder if Emma sees Mark Francis for who he really is. And I don't believe that's a real friend. You know what I mean? I do feel like he's a social climber. But that's me. Danny says, I couldn't deal with Mark Francis. He's a lot. He's a lot. Here go Mr. Mellow. He says, I'm friends with Kempire, so am I in the inner circle? First of all, we are not friends. Just saying. We are not friends. But there are plenty of people on these internet streets saying that I'm their friend. And I'm not talking about you guys that say you're my friend in my head. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people that really that, oh yeah, that's my friend. Oh, have we hung out? Before? Have you been to my house? Have you been to my apartment? If not, we're probably not friends. Just saying. And y'all know I'm not quick to call anybody friend like that. Yes, Talia, there is a Real Housewives of London. It was supposed to come to Peacock. It already aired internationally, and I saw it when I was in Europe. I actually watched it. It was really good. They're filming season 2. But they were supposed to bring it to the States in regards to making it available for us to watch. I don't know why I haven't seen it. Because I really wanted to talk about and recap it then, but I don't know. All right. Very Fiery says that Mark Francis is that gay. My bestie is the same. Claudette de Versailles. Okay. And honestly, the gays that are like Mark Francis, those are not my gays. Those aren't the type of gays I'm hanging around. Just say. The social climbers. No. Give Me Shelter says Mark Francis seems harmless, unlike Margot. Not Margot forcing a lame dad to marry her during the pandemic. She just secured her shotgun marriage that with just 1 kid and not 3 like Pinky. Damn, Give Me Shelter. That was harsh. That was harsh. Wow. All right, back to this. So I enjoyed this week's episode of Ladies of London. There's not a lot to say because the majority of what it was is us getting a chance to see Longleat, having Emma host them. She took them on a boat ride so that they could feed the animals and see everything. She had a tea with them. Everyone's getting along. It was like a 3-hour drive up to Longleat. But the major issue that's going on is between Mark Francis and Margot. What's her name? Lottie? Lottie had a conversation with Mark on the way up, and Lottie likes him. She says, I see where you're coming from, but Margot feels a way about it. You're talking about her, how she dresses and things like that. And look, is he a mean girl? He is. He is a mean girl. He's a part of the Mean Girls. It's definitely giving that energy. Both him and Kimmy are giving mean girl energy. However, Margot, it's not that deep, especially not that deep for when Lottie brings it to you and you start crying. She's like, I feel alone. And I was like, it was giving Karen. And then they speculate that maybe they just Margot doesn't get British humor. And I wouldn't give her that because British humor can be Tia talked about it during the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. We've talked about it before with Lisa Vanderpump. Yeah, I love British humor. I get it. I definitely get British humor. But I don't know if I want to give that to Margot that she doesn't get British humor. She spent like 20 years in England. She should get British humor at this particular point. I don't think it's that. I really do believe that she feels like a mean girl energy from Mark. I think she probably is mad that Mark doesn't like her. You know what I mean? And I think she wanted to be maybe the relationship he has with Emma or the relationship he has with Kimmy or with the other women. I think that's what she really wanted from Mark. But Mark was talking about her and basically clocked her tea in regards to her acting different on this show versus what she used to be. So maybe. Let me see. That Girls Club, is Mark obnoxious? Absolutely. But I think that's how most of high society is. Are they? I don't know. Miss Mellon says British humor is rather dry and abrasive, but not usually mean sometimes. Winter says Margot might have her hormones out of whack still. Her baby is small, of course. Could be. I'm glad you brought that up. You're right. That could be something. Quad mother says, Margot is so annoying. I'm Team Mark. This week, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was Team Mark. Because I was just, Margot, you're dragging this out. And then he talked about no VPL, visible panty line. He was just I think he makes us laugh, so we forgive him for some of the things that he says. And then at the end of the episode, he refuses to have a one-on-one conversation with her. See, this is where Mark lost me, because I was like, why won't you sit down and have a conversation with her? You signed up for a reality show. This is what reality television is about. But I'm not going to have this conversation. I'm not going to have a heated argument with you here at Longleat. I'm not doing it. But I thought he was just going to go back to his room. But no, he was like, can you de-mic me? Huh? And he ends up leaving, and then Kimmy gets up. This is all your fault, Margot. You're such a bitch. Okay? Yeah. I don't know. This week, I don't have the patience for you, Margot. I feel like you're dragging it. Just have a good time. You were fine at the tea party with him. Why all of a sudden now you want to have a conversation with him? Foxy says that was immature of Mark. I agree. I didn't feel like he needed to up and leave. What's up with the dramatic exit? Or are you just trying to have a TV moment? Okay. Winter says, I could be friends with the Brits. I get along with mean. Here you go. All right. Just an FYI, because this weekend it won't be warm, but for the summer, guys, no visible panty lines. Missy, though, brings up a good point. Missy says that it feels like he's making excuses for the reasons why he doesn't vibe with Margot, like her wearing she's not wearing. I have to agree though. What was Margot wearing to Longleat? Longleat, you're going. I'm not thinking about wearing where you're going to see my breasts and I'm wearing tassels on it. She's a bit weird, but she also did that movie where she actually had intercourse. So Margot might be a little off. Okay, Margot might be a little off. So he ends up, that's how the episode ends of Ladies of London, guys. We've been doing a little quick recap of Ladies of London. I'm enjoying the season. The season so far is good. However, there's got to be more. And I have to say, this week's episode gave me more when it comes to seeing Emma's life and seeing Emma's lifestyle. So that, for me, saved the episode. For me. Anyone else? All right, let's move on, because I do want to get to some other stories and hot topics. All right, I talked about that. Let me just make sure I covered some of the things I wanted to cover. Guys, as I'm doing that, be sure to share the live. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already. All right. Oh, damn, I covered a lot already. Okay, I guess I can get to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. All right, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, let's get to it. Guys, we had the season finale of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I thought we were going to get more of Kyle's daughter's wedding, and felt like a blip. I don't know whoever edited the season and focused on what they focused on. We spent last season with a fight between Kyle and Dorit. Did we? The season before, was it a Kyle and Dorit a fight then too? I can't even remember. But why did we spend season 15 with another Kyle and Dorit beef this entire season? Why? I did not need this at all. And I've seen the clips from the reunion. I could care less. I already told you we went through the reunion trailer on Tuesday Takeover. But I'm not looking forward to a 3-part reunion of them arguing about what? Are we going to the entire time talk about Dorit and Kyle? I know they're not going to, but at the same time, 3 parts? Come on. All right, so let's get into Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Guys, if you had to rate the season finale from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? Let me know in the chat. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let me know as well. If I had to rate this episode, I was engaged. I was interested. It wasn't bad. I'll give it a 7. It was fine. Last week's episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills ended with Dorit's book cover launch party. The book is not done yet. It's coming out in June. I don't care about this book. I don't know what she could be talking about that anybody in the world would be interested in. But okay. So we ended with that. And Erica, again, look, I felt like this was performative, Erica. Although, I know that, I don't know if it's possible. If we could be team Dorit when it's her argument with Kyle, but team Erica when it's her argument with Erica. You know what I mean? But that's me. So I do feel like Erica was being performative by going over to Sutton's house instead of going to Dorit's party and not even texting Dorit. She did that intentionally. She was being spiteful because when she had the conversation with Rachel, Rachel was like, you got to call her. You got to let her know you're not coming. And she intentionally did not do that. Sutton Brown, if you do not let go of Dorit saying to you, what did Dorit say to her? I might hate you. I might hate her forever. That hurt my feelings. Oh my God. Like, literally 2 seconds after she says, I will hate her forever, she says, no, I'm kidding. And Sutton has decided to drag this even to the reunion where she says, you hurt my feelings. Sutton, no one cares about your feelings anymore. We don't. You have no feelings. You didn't care about your friend Garcelle's feelings. You were too busy worried about Kyle. It's so clear the shift that Sutton made this season trying to be team Kyle, because she even said that she FaceTimed with Kyle before she called Dorit about not coming. So it's clear to me that this was a plan. When Sutton found out that Kyle wasn't going, she was like, then I'm not going if you're not going to be there. I'm telling you right now, if Kyle had went, Sutton would have went. I even think Erica probably would have went. And so I'm not saying that Dorit is wrong when she's saying that it feels like these people are joining Kyle's team. I definitely feel like that's what's happening. And maybe because they want to keep their job. I could see it. I've said this countless times. I feel like Erica wants to be able to stay on the show. She knows Dorit can't keep her on the show. And this comes up at the reunion. Dorit points it out. People say that Kyle can get people fired from the show. I don't know if I believe that 100%, but if Kyle's still on the show and she can advocate for someone to be a part of her friend group, I can see that happening. So Sutton and Erica commiserate about their issues with Dorit. And Erica basically says she has a whole list of grievances against Dorit. Dorit leaving them in the town in Italy. Dorit cussing her out at the table. Dorit saying that Bozema has done more for her as a friend than anyone in this group. And she says, I've been your friend for 8 years, 9 years. And I haven't done anything for you? All right. I don't know. I don't know. It's so funny because at one particular point, Erica says, maybe PK wasn't wrong about Dorit. I don't think PK was wrong about Dorit. That's why it's so hard in this fight between Kyle and Dorit, because I can't defend Dorit. I definitely can't defend Kyle. I will say this, though. After listening to Crystal Kung-Minkoff, who's been a part of this group, has been spilling tea on her podcast, Humble Brag, with Cynthia Bailey, I do look at the friendship between Kyle and Erica and Kyle and Dorit differently. because even Crystal, who knows these people in real life, has been around them, unedited, says she was blindsided by the downfall of their friendship. And I know I've said countless times that Kyle has downplayed their friendship. She basically downplayed their friendship, and now she wants to act like that she's a friend. But according to Crystal, she always thought that they were really friends. And she says that there was a conversation that she had with Kyle where it seemed as if she wants to have a closer friendship with Dorit, but Dorit is the one she feels like that doesn't want that. So I don't know where the loss in translation has happened, but I don't think that they... Just let's look at the optics. Dorit, who are her friends? And don't count Bose, because that's a TV friend. Like her friend group. Who have you seen Dorit hanging out with? Apparently Dorit doesn't like to go out and stuff like that, but we don't see Dorit with like good girlfriends like that. Or guy friends. We do see Kyle though. And no matter how you feel about Kyle, just look at the optics. Forget about your emotions when it comes to who Kyle is. Kyle has a gaggle of friends, like real friends. So I don't know, like the common denominator, and now we're seeing her have issues with people in the group too. I don't know. I just don't know. And I don't have a gaggle of friends myself like that, but still, I don't know. I don't know who are Crystal's friends. Not Crystal. Who's not Crystal? Who are Dorit's friends? To Foxy says Dorit is insufferable. Millie says I've never seen I've never seen a friend. I haven't seen Dorit with Faye Resnick. Okay. Amara says it's hard to get back on the good side of a cancer, which is funny because what we're watching at the end of the episode between Erica and Dorit are two cancers arguing. Two cancers. But I was team Erica in that conversation. Miss Brooklyn Diamond says that her good friend is Boy George. We don't even see Boy George. And honestly, we probably won't see Boy George with her. That's PK's friend. Shamika, thank you so much for being a member for the Super Chat. Let me shimmy. Shimmy for the $20. Thank you. Shamika says, unrelated, FYI, they just released a trailer for a Thomas Crown Affair starring Michael B. Jordan, and it looks good. You lucky you send this with $20. Well, congratulations to Michael B. Jordan. Unrelated, you're right. What movie are you guys going to see this weekend? I still need to go see You, Me, and Tuscany. I still need to go see that. All right. Oh, Two Foxy says Dorit is a July Cancer. Go figure. Is there a difference, Cancers, between the Julys and the Junes? Just asking. Just asking. I don't know. I've never paid attention. You just know how I feel about Cancers in general. Okay. All right. Moving on. Back at Dorit's book reveal, Jennifer Tilly's Gucci bear bag falls on the floor and breaks. It's a $40,000 bag. So what happens when that happens? There's got to be insurance on something like that. I'm sure she knows people at the Gucci store. She must have an essay at the Gucci store. Okay? I gasped every time it dropped because I watched this twice. I said, oh, not. And then she ate the Tums off the floor. Nasty. She's like, my friend owns the place. I'm sure this place is very clean. Everybody named Mama is walking around this place with their shoes from outside. There's no way that was clean. But you know what? I'm not going to judge Jennifer Tilly. She's still with us. She's on Broadway, okay? Or she's off Broadway. I don't know. She's here in New York. All right. Deja says, Cancer Gang, leave us alone or I'm going to cry like I did when that bag broke. Woo! Gucci bag. But I'm sure there's got to be some sort of insurance on something like that. Her bag fell off the table and broke. Okay, January St. Jane says, my sister is a July Cancer. Good luck. Wow. Ms. Brooklyn Diamond says, July Cancer here. Heather Lock Dealer says, June Cancer here. Shout out to the Cancers. Okay. All right, we got a lot of Cancers in the building. Oh, okay. Aries season is about to end. Shout out to all the Aries. But Taurus season is coming. Do y'all hear? Do y'all hear that? Do y'all hear the rumble? Do y'all hear the rumble? It's about to be our season. Okay, Heather is celebrating 24 months of being a member here in the channel. Says, June Cancer here. We got a lot of cancers in the building. Oh my God, I'm a little frightful. Oh, Ortiz says, not too much on us, Kev. I didn't say anything. I just said there's a lot of cancers in the building. Okay? Emily says, you have a lot of Cancer fans. I do. A lot of Cancer fans and Virgo fans. I don't know why, but here we are. Shout out to all the Cancers. Oh, Lord. I'm a Cancer rising. That's probably why you guys are here. You probably view me as a Cancer. I probably give off Cancer energy. All right. I'm not sitting at home crying, though. Just say. All right. Moving on. So Jennifer Tilly's bag breaks. Bo says that Kyle could have stopped by for 30 minutes because Kyle's excuse for not coming was the fact that her daughter's wedding was like a couple of days away. I know this live is going to probably feel like I am Team Kyle. Never. However, she's a mom planning her first daughter's wedding. Planning an event in general is going to take up a lot of your time, but she's planning her daughter's wedding. And it's not going to be some small feat. This is not going to be a couple of people coming to this wedding. It's going to be a huge event, a lot of things involved. I would understand and I would give Kyle grace for not going to this book cover reveal, this photograph reveal. Okay? Exactly. Missy says Bose needs to mind her business. Because I was like, first of all, Bose, have you thrown a wedding? Your daughter is getting older. She will get married at some particular point. Then you'll understand, like, you're not just, like, when it comes to planning a wedding, like, I'm going to give her grace in regards to that. No, Arturo, Farrah wasn't the one that got married. Damn. I'm not going to even read what Arturo said, because that was mean. No, it wasn't even Farrah that got married. Oh, my God. Arturo's, oh, finally, Farrah got married. No, it wasn't Farrah. Oh, my gosh. Now she's probably feeling bad. Melly says Bose needs to hush because when her daughter gets married, you know she is going to go all out. Okay, this is why you guys are my people. Because no matter how we might not see it for Kyle, we also give grace when necessary. You know what I mean? This is why I say it's important not to be team anyone. Be team you. You don't know these people. Because when it comes time to give grace and you're not a stan, you can be like, she's planning her daughter's wedding. Her daughter's wedding literally is in a few days. I'm not coming out of my house after being tired to support a book cover reveal. And the other thing, too, it's not just a book cover reveal. It's not like she can come there for just 30 minutes because she's going to come there. There's going to be some sort of drama. It's being filmed. We have to keep in mind, Dorit's always late. That's an important detail to know, too. It's not going to be just 30 minutes. Bose. Lord have mercy. I can't with Bose. How do you guys feel Bose did this season? In comparison to her first season, I didn't feel like she had a great first season. I think overall she had a decent first season. But this season really just proved what I pointed out last season. Tyrese, thank you so much for being a member for 28 months. Tyrese says, I predict Sutton won't be asked back next season. She's not as relevant to the group anymore. The Kyle obsession hinders her success on this show, especially when she became such a fan favorite. If Kyle is coming back, I wouldn't be surprised if Sutton comes back because Kyle's going to want her minions. Melly says, for a book that's not even finished. Exactly. Like, why am I going to this? Why am I going to this? I don't blame her. And nobody's going to read the book. Sorry. Not sorry. Bose is so up Dorit's you know what that I'm just like, first of all, Bose, you are such a powerhouse. You are dynamic. So being up someone's you know what is just like, what is happening here? And what's going on with that short hair look that she had with almost like she's wearing a suit? I'm like, you look ridiculous. Chris says, I like Bose. Hold on. Chris says, I like Bose. Where'd it go? I like Bose, but she's doing too much while being low-key boring. Yeah, she is low-key boring. Brandy, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Brandy says, plus Kyle is not even in that part. Plus Kyle's not even on good terms with Dorit. Why am I coming to your book launch party? I don't know why you would expect Erica to come. You guys are still in a bad place. But I just didn't like that Erica was acting like she was on the fence about going, and then she wasn't going to text her and tell her, like, you're not in a good place. Why would you show up to someone's book reveal party? All right. All right, let's move on from there. What else happened in this episode? So we see Kyle prepping. Oh, damn, Kyle. You triggered? I yawned. I'm just letting it ride. So we see Kyle preparing for her daughter's wedding, okay? And she says it feels strange to be on her own while her kids are having these big life moments, okay? She says she believes she then starts reflecting on, I guess she's hinting at when she's going to finally file for divorce. And a lot of us speculated as the reason why we believe Kyle has not filed for divorce is because of the money situation between her and Mauricio, because they've accumulated a lot of money together. So a lot of us speculated that, but I've never been through a divorce. So for some of you that have been through a divorce, can you understand why she's hesitant to file for divorce besides the money issue? I just don't understand. You guys are both living separate lives. You've been living separate lives for a few years now. I don't understand why you wouldn't just move forward with the divorce. I feel like and that's our frustration with Kyle. We still don't know why she left the man. Like, we've never gotten to the bottom of why she actually left Mauricio. Like, a solid reason. We never got it. Was it because you were having an affair with Morgan? Was it because he was having an affair? She never gives us the full story. So I think that's what makes it hard for us to have Kyle's back. Because we just never have a full understanding of what are we dealing with here. His bookie bear. First of all, Kathy had me laughing. The fact that Kathy was the one hosting the big finale event tells you a lot. I don't need Kathy to be full-time. I don't need Jennifer Tilly to be full-time. I like them just the way that they are and the funny that they provide in random moments. Honestly. Because even when Jennifer Tilly's bag broke, she was like, oh my God. Like, she made a whole voice moment out of it. I thought, this is what we need. His bookie bear says, Kathy said the Dorit's book will be her whole summer read. The way she said it was hilarious. I thought it was really interesting to see Kathy because Kathy really does throw really great parties. Everybody that goes to a Kathy party says that she throws really great parties, and you're always going to walk away with some really cool gifts. I love that. I love that for Kathy. I love that for anyone that gets to attend one of her birthday or one of her many parties. So she was hosting the big finale party. But before we get to that, so Kyle is reflecting on, she feels like when it's time for her to pull the plug on this marriage, and I'm assuming, because she never even said file for divorce. She was like talking in poetic rhyme, okay? Or talking in analogies, because she was like, when it comes time to pull the plug, she will actually pull the plug. She will act on it. So that says to me, she's going to drag this out probably for another season, possibly, unless she decides to actually file for divorce. My thing is, if they're not sitting around trying to figure out realistically how they're going to split their assets, then I really don't know what's going on with them. I don't know. But in this moment, in this scene, in the finale, that is Kyle's revelation. As she's planning this wedding, her daughter, seeing them grow up. I said to myself last night when I was watching this that I feel they should have focused more on the planning, the ups and downs of, and maybe they did, and maybe production didn't find that interesting. It was already a boring season. But I feel like this could have been their segue to give Kyle maybe her own show. Would I be watching this show? No. However, maybe some of y'all will. But that would have been my segue to give, the same way that they said they were going to do that with Teresa, but that didn't work. I'd be like, you know what? Let's show the ups and downs. Ideally, Kyle should be able to have her own show. She's got all these gaggle of kids. She's got her own stuff. She loves to produce her own narratives. So go produce your own show and watch. Have the people that love Kyle over there watch it. And let's start fresh and anew here. Fresh, new here. And not with Rachel Zoe. I'm starting to see people see through Rachel Zoe. I'm like, finally, my people, you guys are now seeing what I've been telling you from the beginning. Rachel Zoe's performative. And apparently Rachel Zoe is a part of the new crew. Bose and Dorit. Girl, Rachel Zoe, you really sure know how to pick them. That's the losing team. Honestly, both teams are losing in my head, but that's definitely the loser team. And right, come Bose with her, she's my queen to be. I'm still reacting to last week's episode and that, whatever that was, that proposal. Even when she told the group at the book event, Bose, I don't know. And look, everyone reacts to things differently, but you guys tell me. When Bose tells the other women that she's engaged, it didn't give the same energy that I feel like. I watch a lot of Instagram videos of people getting engaged and telling their friends and things like that. It didn't have that same energy. Am I crazy? Please tell me how y'all felt. It didn't feel, she's just, I'm engaged. And everyone's so excited. Everyone else seemed more excited than she was. Even when he proposed, she didn't seem as excited. Maybe because she knew it was coming. Maybe because she paid for the ring. I believe she paid for that ring, y'all. Anyone else? I believe she paid for that ring. I believe she paid for the hairline improvement. I believe she'll pay for the 2 weddings. And I believe she'll pay for the house. I'm not against it. Look, I'm not against it. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. D. Simmons says Rachel, Bose, and Dorit are Delulu. All right. Look, all right. All right, guys, keep liking the video. We have shout out to all of y'all being here for our FRI-YAY live. I appreciate you all being here. Don't forget to like the video. We're talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We were just talking about Ladies of London. We talked about a bunch of different hot topics. Rewind if you're just joining us. I will add the timestamps this evening. All right, it's out. I'm going outside. Is it still raining, Miss Brooklyn? Is it still raining? We have a 3-part reunion to buckle up for, but I will say the finale at least sparked my interest. I'm giving it a 7. You guys will let me know how you would rate it. All right. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying. Hold on. Okay, Nayoka says they seem happy for Bose, right? The group. Siesta says, Kempire, you're always alive just in time for my shower. We go together now. Anyway, I don't watch any of the Real Housewives, but I love your personality, maybe because I'm a Taurus. Yes, Taurus. Yes, sir. We do love a good entertainment in the shower. Anyone else bring their phone in the shower? I'm like, I take a long shower. Mess. All right. Little Miss Sunshine is the way yawn hearing 3-part reunion. Love is Mimi says that Bose is strange. So, did y'all agree with me that her reaction to telling the group felt a little, I don't know, lackluster? Jesse says that Bose is paying his way. Even last season when we talked about how they met, and recently that was in People magazine about Bose talking about how they were introduced. They were introduced through, I guess, a family friend, or I forgot what she said. It doesn't matter. But apparently Tina Knowles was there at the same time. Because at the time, Bose had told her friend that she's not interested in uncles. And Tina was like, I'm interested. I'm paraphrasing this story. You can go Google schmoogle it if you're even interested. So Tina Knowles was there at the time. So she was like, oh, no, Miss Tina. So that's when she got interested in an uncle. So that's how they were introduced. Okay, now I'm thinking about this a little bit more. The fact that story came out this week, and we have to remember, Bose is a marketing executive. That was intentional. That was intentional to put that story out there right now because all of us are looking at this relationship like, what in the hell? What is this? No one is convinced by this relationship. And if they are convinced by this relationship, they were like, what is wrong with you, Bose? Like, it can't be that bad out here in these streets that you have to settle for this. And I'm not saying that he's a bad looking guy. He's not. But what else does he have? What else does he have? We don't even know what he does for a living. A word on the street is that he was in marketing too, but he's not a marketing executive. He's not known on that level. All right. Now she met him on Ready to Love. OMG Steph, thank you so much for the super chat. OMG Steph says Roger's girlfriend called out Rachel for her theatrics. Oh, I forgot about that because it's been a week since that happened. Let me just say this. Yes. So Rachel Zoe talked about the girlfriend last week's episode. We talked about it. So the girlfriend went out on social media basically responding. I'm not going to go through because it was very long. It's very long what she was saying on Instagram. I want to say this, though. I'm not defending this woman. I don't know if she got with Roger when he was still in a loving relationship with Rachel, because if she's the other woman, burn. However, Rachel has been shading this woman this entire season, specifically in last week's episode. She took some shots at this woman. So I'm going to give her grace in regards to her responding to Rachel, because Rachel was the first one to be like, oh, she was born a few days after me and she's a wannabe stylist and that. So I was like, you know what, girl, defend yourself, because Rachel called for you. Defend yourself. Keely was an actor. Mary Jane's baby. Don't you remember? We went through his IMDb. Remember? We went through it. But it was like years ago. He hasn't acted in 20 years. Yeah, we know about Keely's acting career. Or lack thereof. But there's a lot of people over there in Hollywood that have an acting career. Okay. All right. What else did I want to talk about in regards to this episode? All right, let's get to... So Dorit and Rachel meet up to have a conversation. I'm going to skip over that. Let's get to Kathy Hilton's party that she's hosting for her daughter's company, okay? So Kathy has all the ladies at this party. This is going to be the big finale event, and everyone arrives, okay? So this is where they sit down to have a conversation about not coming to Dorit's party. I don't know. This could have been easily a way for Kyle and Dorit to make amends, but they don't want that. Because Kyle says, I heard your event was great. I wish you the best. Good luck. But then it takes a turn, and then they start talking about their issues again. And Kyle yells at the group, basically, we're talking about all of our stuff. Damn, Natalie was there again. And I know some of you are going to be like, who's Natalie? I just remember Natalie was there. Oh, Natalie. Was Kimora Lee Simmons at the party? I'm not surprised. Kimora runs in these circles. You probably saw a bunch of different people. Denise Richards was also there. Denise looked good. Did you guys see Denise? Denise looked good. Denise with that hair, what did I talk about her hair? Like her face wasn't snatched for the gods. But the hair and everything came together. She looked great. Do you want to see Denise come back? She's still running in these circles. She's still very friendly with these women. I did not catch Kimora. All right, but I'm not surprised. We talked about Kimora this past week. If you missed it on our Tuesday takeover, it was a good episode. All right. Sybil and Chic says, seriously, who is... When you guys say that, I'm wondering if you guys are being facetious or if you really... Little bit sunshine says, who is Natalie? Who you keep naming her? Oh my gosh. OG said Denise looked good. She really did. I loved her dress. Her face is like whoosh. I was like, all right, that's some good work. Anyway, I've digressed. So they're all there. They're all coming to this event. Kyle and Dorit get into it. At first, it started off nice, and then it goes left, and Kyle is yelling. Sidebar, rewind. There was a moment with Kathy Hilton where they were taking pictures for this event, and they were in front of the step and repeat. And Kathy Hilton just, ha! And then the effect of it, they put a whole effect on it. So you see everyone reacting. And Kyle, who was that? And that was, it sounds like Kathy. I don't know. That made me giggle. I was like, okay, thank you. I needed that little bit of a giggle. Fast forward. All the ladies come together and they're sitting to have this conversation. And it gets heated between Dorit and Kyle again. But for me, my favorite argument was between Erica and Dorit. Because at this particular point, I don't even care about the fight between Kyle and Dorit. We've been talking about this for 2 seasons. I don't care about it anymore. I want to play the audio of the fight between Dorit and Erica, just because to me that was really interesting. I don't know why they try to argue with Erica, because Erica just don't care. We're going to play this on the fair use. I'm going to have to stop and play it, y'all. Okay, I'm going to have to stop and play it. But I thought this, if anything, this was one of the parts that was worth watching. Hold on. So this is Erica and Dorit fighting.
What did I do to you, Erica? Share with me what I did.
Do you remember what you did to me in Italy at the table?
And how
Erica also debuted her man on FaceTime on this episode as well. And she introduced them to a couple of people that were sitting next to her. Who was sitting next to her at the time? It was Kyle and someone else. I don't remember who else was sitting there. Unimportant.
How low you went and all the things you said?
Tell me, please.
Dorit.
Erica.
First off, don't talk to me like that.
Don't talk to you what?
Like that. You can tone it down and we can have a civil conversation.
I'm all for civil.
Oh, really? Were you civil when you called me a in Italy?
Called her a see you next Tuesday. Here's the thing with Dorit. Dorit is so performative. Anytime Dorit is being aggressive or yelling and cursing, and even at her book party, and she was talking to the party planner and she was using the see you next Tuesday word, I was like, you're so performative that it doesn't feel real, doesn't feel authentic. When you see Erica do it, it feels more authentic.
Erica, a 10-year friendship.
Sidebar, Bo's just sitting there being quiet. Again, anytime these two starts arguing, probably because she likes Erica and she's friends with Dorit, she gets real quiet anytime these two are arguing.
It's 9. Dorit, I cannot be shushed.
Not her correcting her. You know, a 10-year friendship. It's 9.
2 or 3 times, your hand in my face, left in a town. You don't want to hear anything what I'm saying, and that's what you get.
Please, you have my undivided attention.
I want you to soften your edges because you know what? You can't keep letting us have it one by one all the time. She is trying hard to reach you, and you're not home. And you're not listening to her. We're all here talking about you. We're all here talking about your finances because you've made it very...
Erica, I don't know really who you are.
Okay,
because
good.
1 minute you're nice,
Okay.
1 minute you're not.
Okay, good.
Suddenly everything changed overnight.
Do you guys think that Erica changed overnight? It does feel like a big shift in regards to Erica's support of Dorit versus her support of Kyle. And I definitely feel like Erica feels like she's in the middle. But at the same time, I don't know if I could be friends. I don't know. I don't believe that Erica and Dorit are as tight as she is with Kyle. I think Kyle is a real friend. I don't think Dorit can be anyone's friend. You can't be someone's friend if you can't respect people's time. You don't respect any of these people's time. People have been waiting on Dorit for years. This is not a new occurrence. So I'm not going to associate this with, oh my gosh, she's going through something with her divorce and that's why she's always late. She's always been late.
You know that I'm a single mother. I'm hustling my ass off. That this book cover release was so important and meaningful to me. You were not prepared to put whatever different...
She's hustling her A off? What exactly are you doing, Dorit, other than writing a book that no one's going to read? What other things are you doing?
That's right, I wasn't.
To the side.
That's right, I wasn't.
And you couldn't even pick up the phone to call me?
Nope, I could not.
This is very Cancer energy, which I can relate to. I'm like, she's no, I'm not.
A minute.
Yeah.
I need to process everything and really assess our 9-year relationship.
Okay, do that.
And you being okay with what you did.
I am okay with what I did. I feel very firmly in what I did. Oh. This is not the guilt group over here.
She said this is not the guilt group over here.
Oh, cool.
Oh, no, I see.
Yeah,
you feel.
very much so.
At least now I have a chance to see the real you.
Okay, good. I'm glad you did.
And I can process it.
Okay, good.
Anything else?
If you got something to say, you should say it right now.
You did say that you didn't come to the cover reveal party because you wanted to get my attention.
Yeah, and I got it, don't I?
Oh! I'm sorry, y'all. I was Team Erica in this argument because Dorit is such a drag. Like, I get some of the points that Dorit is bringing up, but Dorit can also, she's long-winded. She's a drag. I could never be friends with her. She's a disrespectful friend. I don't think she's a good friend. I don't think she shows up for her people unless it's like on camera. That's me.
Erica, you would have gotten it by picking up the phone.
If you haven't gotten it by now, I have nothing to say.
You have nothing else to say.
That's right.
Good. We're good.
Oh, we're real good.
Yeah. If this is who Erica is now, I don't really want that friendship. I don't really want a friend who can turn their back so quickly when you are at the lowest point of your life. Anything I need to hear?
The lowest point of her life. Do y'all think that this is a real beef? Because I just thought to myself, if Dorit didn't come back next season, I wouldn't care. And if she didn't come back this season, I wouldn't cared. But then I'm thinking, like, is this an orchestrated fight so that there's relevance to bring Dorit back next season so that they can figure out a way for Eric. Because remember at the reunion, Eric already said on the red carpet that they still are not in a good place. So I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to see Dorit come back next season. I don't care if Dorit comes back next season. But now I'm thinking they're going to bring this so that they can figure out a way next season to resolve. I don't know. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. But okay.
I haven't heard.
I'm done talking about this.
Oh. I'm going to get a drink. This was very...
All right, so that's how that conversation ends. But then Sutton wants to have a conversation and to sit down. I don't know if a producer told her to go sit down and have a conversation with Dorit. But Sutton is so dragging what Dorit said. I'm going to play it for you under fair use. I'm going to have to stop and play it. But I just can't believe that she really is dragging this. That you hurt my feelings. Shut up, Sutton.
This last year has been filled with a lot of difficult moments, but a lot of really beautiful moments also.
There we go. That's it. Look like a princess.
So this is them showing the wedding. Alexia's wedding was such a blip. I'm sorry, Alexa. Maybe she didn't want the cameras there.
Going through times like this, it really makes you think about your friendships. The ones that you value and the ones that you have to walk away from. I am not.
And Dorit attended this wedding. PK also attended this wedding. I saw in the after show, she said that she found out maybe like last minute that PK was attending the wedding.
I'm going to be stepped on by anyone in my life, and I want my daughters to see that. I'm not being treated right. I am walking away, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm walking away.
So they give the updates. I don't care about this. While Kyle and Mo did not end up sharing a room at the wedding, neither are ready to pull the trigger on their divorce.
I am someone who forgives and forgets. I don't hold a grudge ever.
Oh, I do. I hold a grudge forever.
So this is Rachel Zoe's update. Rachel's divorce is still pending with no end in sight. Oh my goodness. She's been debuting a new romance on the red carpets of Beverly Hills. But not by the valet stands. Okay.
If she doesn't want to be my friend and she doesn't understand that I'm frustrated with her, fine. It's okay too. I feel like this group is lost. And I'm sad that there is distance between Dorit and I, but I'm also okay with that being that way. Things will resolve themselves when they're supposed to.
Erica's set to start her $25 million trial in April this month. I didn't know that. Things are looking up, though. Erica's very happy in her relationship, and she's going to have a new DJ career as DJ Pretty Mess.
I think this is about as clear as mud. I still don't know what's going on.
Here's what caught me. And did y'all catch this tea at the end with Bose's update? Bose, hold on. Bose's update says Bose plans to have one more round of IVF. Here's my thing. I'm not one of the people saying that she shouldn't try. However, what we learned from Quad's journey and what Dr. Jackie taught us, at the last round, how many eggs did she retrieve? Or she was able to? It was like 2 or something. I forgot how many it was. But Dr. Jackie says, ideally, you want 6. And remember, Quad, I think, ended up having 4. And I was like, if you have 2, the likelihood is not going to be good. So I wasn't surprised when they came back and it said it wasn't successful. So she's going to go through another round of IVF? Okay. There are beautiful black children that need to be adopted. I'm not telling you what to do, but just want to put it out there. Anytime we talk about people going through IVF, I just want to also put out there, adoption is a possibility. Surrogacy is a possibility. All right. Mary Jane's baby says IVF beats your body down. And she's talked about that. She's been very vulnerable about that. Okay. Then they said Bose plans to have one more round of IVF while planning her 2 weddings on 2 different continents. I don't even care. I don't want to see it, Bose. I don't care. Here we are. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see this wedding to this man She gonna pay for these weddings on both continents. I can tell you that much. She and Keely are still searching for their new home. Okay. You're my queen to be. Okay.
And scene.
All right. Miss Brooklyn Diamond says, here's the thing. Women are born with all their eggs she's ever going to have. IVF makes them mature faster, but if they are old eggs, the viability is questionable. I don't know what to tell you. And the thing is, you can adopt a black baby. But I get it. Some people want to go through that process. And I remember, and I'm going to say it every time we talk about this, I'm not saying that she shouldn't try. However, again, part of why she wants to do this is because she lost the baby, her pregnancy with her daughter. She was just so worried about it. So she wanted to have this experience again. But I just don't think this experience is going to be ideal either for you. But okay. All right, let's see. And she said Keely is yet to get his own drawer.
I'll be back, maybe. I'm gonna aerate the yard some more.
Sutton is working on making Sutton Brown official and keeping her Zen mentality, keeping away from vodka. While she struggles with her empty nest, Sutton finds solace in her gang of pets.
Oh, yes, honey, thank you.
I got them. I'll bring them to you.
We didn't really talk about Amanda during this recap, but Amanda is doing just fine. Apparently, Amanda and Eddie legally tied the knot in a civil service in September 9th of last year. So she's already a married woman. So they showed a clip of her getting married. So maybe they were going to show this wedding, but look, bring Amanda back. Justice for Amanda. Bring her back because I know her wedding's going to be a situation. I want to see this wedding. Okay, listen to this.
Take the Edward. For richer or for poorer.
We're gonna need to say richer or for richer. No.
For richer or for richer.
For richer or for richer.
Look, some of y'all gonna say Amanda's obnoxious. Why did it's for richer or for poorer? No, Amanda says I am not about that life. And when I get married, I'm gonna tell them, yeah, we're gonna do for richer or for richer. We don't do poor. We did poor already. She's trying to teach you guys how to manifest. Your words are powerful. She said, we're not going to say that. We're going to say for richer or richer. Okay? I know that's right. Her husband was like, oh, man, no, for richer or for richer. Say it with me, sir. Look, say it with me. She still plans to have an extravagant wedding in October. In the meantime, she's manifesting a bestseller for her new self-published book, Godly as F. Okay. I'm still reading her first book.
Where is this woman? Now I gotta climb up and down these stairs.
You guys have been fighting so long that I'm going to dinner.
No! May I join you?
Oh, sure.
I do want to.
Sutton decides at the end of this that she wants to have a moment and have a conversation with Dorit.
Speak for a second, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay. I know you don't care to speak to me. You've made that very evident. But do you want to explain to me what happened at Rachel's and why you told me you were going to hate me forever?
Why are we still talking about this? She literally said, I'm just kidding. And now she's dragging it to the finale, and she'll probably drag it to the reunion.
It's a joke, Sutton.
You didn't say
Like
it.
little. It's a joke. For crying out loud.
You hurt my feelings.
I apologize to you, and I'm very sorry that
See,
you
that
took it
doesn't
very
even
sensitive.
look.
Honestly, guys, I'm watching Dorit apologize. It actually did look sincere. Like, we've seen Dorit apologize before, and we're like, that's not sincere. This apology definitely looks sincere, and Sutton is like, she's just a dog with a bone. Sutton, you are a Karen. Go home.
Like you are sorry for it, though.
I really shouldn't worry.
Okay, let me just give you an update. When it comes to Kyle versus Dorit, I'm team Dorit. I had to think about that. When it comes to Dorit versus Erica, I'm team Erica. When it comes to Dorit versus Sutton, I'm team Dorit.
About Dorit's dismissal, because it's not like she's living this great life that I want to be a part of.
That was shady. It's not like Dorit's living this great life that I want to be a part of. So this is the real Sutton. Sutton Brown, Sutton Strack, this is the real Sutton. When she was talking about the wallets last season, this is the real Sutton.
If Dorit just wants to be on this island with Bose and Rachel, who say yes and touch her hair and hold her hand and same.
Where was this Sutton all season? I needed this Sutton all season because she's right. Because between Bose and between Rachel, I agree with her. They're so like, I get it, same. Uh-huh.
Then do that.
I need to get back to my kids, so if you can try to wrap it up.
Do you not see why this is a problem? When I'm trying to work on something with you and you don't even take a second to talk to me in a kind way.
Sutton, what you have to say is irrelevant to me.
Look, I'm Team Dorit on this. Because Sutton, it was a joke. Sutton, it was a joke. Let it go. Leave us alone. Get away from me with this. I could not believe that the finale ended with Sutton still in her feelings about a joke. It was a joke. And even if you didn't like the joke and you still were offended by it, she also gave you a sincere... I'm looking at Dorit apologize. That felt like a sincere apology. And even then, you couldn't take it. I'm done with Sutton. I'm done with this season. I don't know if I can make it through all 3 parts of this reunion, y'all. I might wait till the end of part 1, part 2, no, I don't know if I can even do that because then I'm like, what happened in part 1? What happened? We'll see. Every week I'm like, do I really want to go live and talk about this? They're lucky that there are other things that I want to talk about that end up happening. There's Ladies of London, Ciara Miller update. There are just topics that I want to talk about. I really don't want to talk about Beverly Hills, but we're about to be done with Beverly Hills. So, Bravo, you got a problem on your hands. I know you're looking at the numbers and you're like, no, we don't. I can't promise you next season I'm going to recap because at the end of the day, I'm helping promote this show by recapping it. But you're welcome. Thank you to all of you that are grateful for me recapping it. Let me say a quick thank you, and I got to get out of here. My appointment's 10 minutes. Brandy, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Brandy says, PK got Dorit looking bitter. Amanda got Bose looking bitter. And Roger's new woman got Rachel looking bitter. Everybody just bitter. RC, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. RC says, Keely is reportedly worth $1.2 million. He got the ring. Where'd you get the $1.2 million? Did what's her name put that out on there online? Please understand, the ratings that you guys see, the celebrity net worths that you see online are not accurate. Just saying. But anyway, I've digressed. Thank you all for liking the video. If you haven't already, we have 1,200 of you in here, and we haven't reached 600 likes. So that's 600 plus of you that are watching and have been watching for almost 2 hours and have not liked the video. Do better. Okay? Chocolate Soul. Chocolate Soul says, thank you, Kempire, for your sacrifice. I watch you so I don't have to watch them. Well, you're supporting black business over here, so thank you. Thank you. That's the only reason why I'm recapping it. All right? TJ says, I'm so excited to talk about Ciara. We talked about it already. Did you just join us? Rewind. We talked about it. I'll be adding the timestamps a little bit later on today, guys. Thank you all for being here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Friday. You'll be able to hear this more edited, cleaned up version of this live recap on the Kempire podcast. Subscribe today if you haven't subscribed already. And be sure to this video, if you're watching the replay of this replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. I will see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone. Oh, look, I got to shame y'all in order to get 600 likes. Okay. But there's still 1,200 of you here. Okay. Kai says, Kempire, I just joined. It's okay. It's all right. I've been live for an hour and 45 minutes. All right. Katya says, yay, I just clocked out for the week. Yes, enjoy your weekend. Shout out to everyone sharing their good news in the chat. Be sure to share your good news replay crew as well. Everyone have a great rest of your day. More information on everything Kempire, including my merch. Are you okay? Merch now available. Be sure to check that out and be sure to check out everything that you missed this week here on the channel. And be sure to follow me on Facebook, The Kempire on Facebook, and The Kempire on Instagram. I posted a new photo. I posted a bunch of new photos. Some of you may have missed that. Go give it a comment. All right? Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. For more information on the podcast, head on over to KempireRadio.com.